Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Thursday, it is December the 29th. So I hope you're doing great this morning. Another beautiful sunny day here. I hope that your weather is beautiful. I know that in the United States there's been some terrible storms, and I hope everyone got safely to their destinations this week and that you're enjoying your Christmas break. I know that this week can be family week sometimes. People travel to spend time with their family between Christmas and New Year, and whatever you're spending your time doing, I hope it's bringing you joy and fun. I'm having a cup of tea this morning. I've got hibiscus and mint. This is a nice one actually. I like hibiscus tea. It's very red and it's sort of soothing. I like it a lot. So I've got my red mug and my hibiscus tea. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, and I wanted to maybe tune into something that might be on your mind for the new year. It's something that I reassess it almost every day of my life, but the new year is a good time to just sit down and think about downsizing, about doing things to get your life down to a more manageable level and focus on experiences rather than stuff. I know a lot of us have things in our garage and attics that we really don't need anymore. They don't add to our lives, but they do add something. They add a memory or they add an attachment that is sometimes very hard to let go. So I want to share some of my own story because as I said, I've been kind of living this simplistic lifestyle now for almost 5 years. But it didn't start easily, and I'll share my own experience, but also that of one of our bloggers, Terry Arts. Now, Terry, she talked about in this article, I'll send you the link, about how she tried to do a downsizing exercise and did pretty well with some of the things, but then got stuck. She got stuck on one thing in particular that she could not let go. And when I read her article, I could totally relate, totally. And so I wanted to share it with you and see whether it's helpful if you're starting a downsizing journey to think about why you might be having some challenges. And so Terry starts off by talking about, just getting a process in place that starts with getting rid of the junk. That's easy. Junk. All those things that you've been saving multiple copies of, and all the magazines and all the little just things that you don't need anymore. The things that are just pure and simple junk. Those are easy to get rid of. Now, don't forget, one person's junk is another person's treasure, so don't throw them away necessarily. Put them into some piles of donate and reuse and recycle. And be obviously sensitive to that, because somebody else might find it very useful. But to you, it's easy to let go. It has no real significance. It didn't matter to you. And then so after that easy part, you can let go of other possessions that have a significance. Things that that you purchased because you love them. Like for me, I had about 10 different variations on Christmas decorations. I had the pink decorations, the flowers, the fish, the black and white. I had everything, and I just needed really some sparkly lights. That's all I wanted. So I let them go. But sometimes we take this step just to simplify our surroundings, and that's harder, but not too difficult. We can let go of those things we have multiple copies of, or we just, we really don't treasure anymore. And I'm reminded of a quote by William Morris. He said, "Have nothing in your home that you don't consider to be beautiful or find to be useful." And that actually has become a bit of a mantra for me. And of course, everything's beautiful for me. I mean, I have a very low quota for beautiful, but it has to be really beautiful. And so that's the next group, is those things that we just choose to let go because we want to simplify. Then we have to eliminate those things that have an attachment to our past, those things that have a history and a story, and they matter. And there are things, in a way, this is the most challenging part. Now for Terry, the hardest thing for her to let go was a dining room buffet that her mum owned. And it was in her mother's house for like ever, just as every family event, every positive memory was somehow centered around this family, this buffet. And of course, when her mom got really sick, then, obviously things changed, and, but this one item became attached to her past. It was a sort of a representative of when things were happy and vibrant and loving, and the family was together, and it just had a huge amount of weight, significance. So she really could not let it go because it represented a happy time. It represented something she missed. And for me, when I came back from New York City, I went there to work for 3 months, and I came back, and my boxes returned with me. I had 39 boxes that I had no idea what was in them, hadn't used any of them, and so I decided to open them one at a time and let things go. So by then it was pretty much the junk was gone. These were things that had significance, things like my children's school art projects, and little crafts they'd made for me, and just things I treasured that like Terry made me feel homey and comfortable and like a mom, and all those warm feelings. But then I got down to, and I sorted those out pretty quickly. I called up my kids and said, guys, I'm letting these go. Do you want them? And I'm going to scan everything in my computer, but the real things are going. I'm going to let them go. And it was hard to let those things go. Many, many tears. I must admit, it was not easy for me. And it took me about 3 months to go through everything, to get down to my goal then, which was 200 items. I figured that was a good number, and I got there. I did get there. Not for long. I've kind of crept up again, but now I'm much more careful. But anyway, I opened one box that was like Terry's mom's dining room buffet, and it was my little box of my dog's Chica's possessions. Now, little Chica, I think I've mentioned her before, was my little dog after I got divorced, and was my best friend in the world. Really sweet dog. Didn't live very long. She had a little illness that caused her brain to swell. And so we were best of friends, but she didn't last very long. And she was my little child, like many of you, my little fur baby. And not just that, she represented times when I was married happily with my children, when we had lots of pets in the house, lots of animals. We were happy, carefree. Love permeated our home. We did so many fun things together. We were a really fun family. It was a great experience as a mother. And Chica and all my little treasures of Chica just represented everything, that whole package. And yeah, it was sad to think it wasn't there anymore. But of course, so much other positive stuff has happened since. It's hard to compare. But at that time, it was special. So I unpacked the box. And in the box was, of course, Chica's teddy bears. She had this monkey that was about 3 times as big as her. She was tiny, a little chihuahua. And there was her little toys, her chew toys. There was her little collar that she wore, a little pink collar with sparkles on it. And also her little urn where her ashes were. And this was actually quite big. It was a beautiful little vase. I used to leave it out just as a memory of her. And so the hardest thing to let go was that box of Chica's things. And so what I did is I chose one thing that to me sort of represented it all. Just one memory, one item, and that was the little collar. And I should show it to you, actually. I've got it right next to me here. I won't reach over, but I have it in my house all the time. It's wrapped around something else that I treasure. And my little Chica collar was my thing that I kept. But I had to let go everything else, and that was challenging. So Terry reminds us, that sometimes you've got to do a reality check. You've got to look at your stuff and think, what was it about that thing, that was so important? And then it gives us an opportunity, and it forces us really to re-examine our lives, to see what's happening in the present, what we were missing then that we need in our present too. And the truth is, of course, as Terry reminds us, is that we don't need material things. We don't need stuff to remind us. The memories are deep inside of us. They're in our hearts. And, nothing's going to bring back those times. Nothing's going to bring back those experiences. But the memories are there. And so we don't need these multiple, things to remind us. And then take a step back and look at the underlying reason that item was so hard for you to let go. For her it symbolized love, family, friendship, security. And ask yourself, do you still have a need for those things in your life? And if you do, What are you doing to make sure that they're there? Now, family, of course, can't be replaced. The people that we've lost can't come back. But the feeling of trust and love and commitment to each other and just the sheer joy of life, we can find that in other things. And so that's your task, really, isn't it, for the next year, is to examine what are the things that you really treasure about your past, what happened in 2016 even, and how you're going to carry that forward, how you're going to find those things and create those things in your life that bring you happiness and joy. Really love that article. And of course, her bottom line is you've got to let go. You just have to let it go and reinvent yourself. So thanks, Terry, for that article. I'll leave the link for you all to read it. It's super moving and very thought-provoking. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, I want to, before we close, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time every day. You know, I mean, obviously I say this every day because I really do honestly mean it every day. Your support is so important. It's why I do all of this. It's my world, and you're my world. So please tell a friend about 60andMe. You know, know that this is a safe place for you to come. Share who you are. Share this journey as a woman in her 60s. It just gives me such great joy myself to know that it's important, that it's helping you. And it's helping me too. It's joint mutual admiration society. So my question for you is, have you started to downsize possessions in your 60s? And are there any items that you're having trouble letting go of? Are you planning to downsize in your 60s? And is there any item or items that you're having trouble letting go of? Leave your comments in the section below. We'll have a conversation, give each other some support and encouragement. And I really do look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60andMe. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.